Tyler had always been popular. He was athletic, charismatic, and the life of every party. He had a group of friends who followed him everywhere, and he was always the first to be chosen for any team or group project. He was used to being the center of attention, always surrounded by people who admired his looks and confidence. He was the kind of guy who didn't care about schoolwork much, relying instead on his charm to get by. One day, the teacher announced that the class would be working in pairs on a business project. Tyler rolled his eyes. He wasn't particularly interested in the assignment, but he knew that if he paired with someone smart, he could let them do most of the work while he coasted through the project. That's when he saw Evan. Evan was quiet, reserved, and always sitting alone in the back of the class. He was the textbook definition of a nerd: glasses, a mess of unkempt hair, and an unassuming demeanor. Tyler had never given Evan much thought before, but now that he had to choose a partner, he figured Evan would be the perfect candidate for his plan. Tyler turned to Evan, giving him a friendly smile. "Hey, Evan, I think we should team up for the project. You know, since you're good with computers and all that tech stuff, I'm sure we can make it easy." Evan blinked in surprise. Sure, that sounds fine." Tyler could sense Evan's hesitation but didn't think much of it. He just needed someone who could do the hard work while he contributed his creativity. He liked the idea of playing the role of the visionary, even if his ideas were mostly vague and uninspired. As they started to work together, Tyler quickly noticed how different their approaches were. Evan was methodical and precise. He had already come up with several ideas for their project, a tech-based startup, complete with a business plan, a pitch, and even some basic coding. Tyler, on the other hand, couldn't even remember the last time he'd cracked open a book on business. He had no idea how to code, let alone build a startup. "Hey, Evan, how about we change the name of the app to something cooler?" Tyler suggested one day. "Maybe something like TurboTech. That sounds more edgy, don't you think?" Evan looked up, his eyes not meeting Tyler's as he adjusted his glasses. "I think our app is fine the way it is," he said quietly, trying to hide his frustration. "It's simple, effective, and it fits our concept." Tyler shrugged. "Whatever. I'm just saying it could be better with a little style. Anyway, can you handle the technical side? I'll focus on the marketing and presentation." As the days went by, Tyler grew more and more disinterested in the project. He was getting bored of working with Evan and wasn't impressed with his lack of social skills or charisma. He began to notice how much time Evan spent alone, obsessing over the technical details of the app. Tyler started ignoring their meetings, skipping some of their collaborative sessions, and showing up late when he did show up. "You know, Evan, I think we could just wing it when it comes to the pitch," Tyler said one day, glancing at his phone. "I mean, you're good with numbers, right? Just let me handle the presentation. I'll impress everyone with my style. Trust me." Evan's face tightened in frustration. "Tyler, this isn't a joke. I've put in a lot of work to make this app viable. It's not just about style." Tyler waved him off. "Relax. It'll be fine. I'll come up with something last minute. You just stick to your techie stuff." Presentation day arrived, and Tyler wasn't worried at all. He had put together a flashy slide deck, made a few jokes, and practiced his pitch in front of the mirror. He was confident that his charm and charisma would carry them through. Evan, on the other hand, had been preparing for weeks. He had the numbers, the data, and the actual working prototype of their app ready to show the class. He had a quiet determination about him that Tyler had failed to appreciate. When it was their turn to present, Tyler took the lead, speaking confidently to the class about the app they had created. He spoke about innovation and changing the world, but didn't provide any real details. He glanced at Evan, signaling for him to step in with the technical details. Evan stood up, but Tyler could see that something was off. Evan didn't speak right away. Instead, he pulled up a live demo of the app on the projector, showing the class how it worked in real time. He began to explain the intricacies of the technology behind the app, including the algorithms, the coding, and the potential impact it could have on the market. As Evan spoke, Tyler's confidence began to falter. The class was captivated by Evan's technical knowledge and the depth of his work. The teacher's eyes widened as Evan explained the app's features, and Tyler couldn't help but feel a pang of embarrassment. He had nothing of substance to add to the conversation. When the presentation ended, the class erupted into applause, and Tyler felt a sinking feeling in his stomach. He had been so focused on his image and charm that he hadn't realized just how impressive Evan's work was. Evan, however, stood quietly, his face flushed with a modest smile. A few weeks later, their project was featured in a local startup competition, and to Tyler's shock, their app won first place. It was a moment of validation for Evan, and Tyler realized with a sinking feeling that he had underestimated his classmate. Evan had not only proven him wrong, but he had also done something Tyler could never have imagined. After the competition, Evan approached Tyler in the hallway, holding a letter in his hand. "Hey, Tyler," Evan said, his voice steady. "I just wanted to let you know that I've been working on turning this project into a real business. I've already secured funding from some angel investors." Tyler blinked, his mouth dry. "Wait, what? You mean this is actually going to be a business?" Evan nodded. "Yeah, I've been working on a startup for a while. I just didn't advertise it to everyone in class. I prefer to let my work speak for itself." Tyler stood there, speechless. His mind was racing. He had been so busy dismissing Evan as a nerd that he hadn't realized that Evan was a potential entrepreneur. This wasn't just a class project. It was the beginning of something much bigger. I didn't know," Tyler said, his voice quieter than usual. "I didn't realize how serious you were." Evan smiled faintly. "I guess you were too focused on appearances to see the bigger picture. It's okay. I'm just glad you were part of it." This story highlights the dangers of underestimating others based on superficial judgments. Tyler's initial dismissal of Evan's abilities shows how easily we can miss out on valuable opportunities by judging someone solely on their appearance or social status. Evan's success serves as a reminder that true talent often lies beneath the surface, and that those who are underestimated can be the ones who change the game.